Earth family, welcome back. This is the Word Woman, Johanna Queenie. We are going to be talking about marriage matters. And so I have a very special guest. My husband, Philippa Queenie, is here. Welcome, babe.
Thank you.
I am in a WhatsApp group with my alumni fellowship from school, from the university. And this past weekend, some marriage matters came up. And someone asked a very vital question. Now, by the grace of God, we are pastors, and this could be very uncomfortable for me as a pastor's wife. But I felt it's important for the people who are really anxious to get answers, to understand why this could be happening in any marriage. And the question is, what will you do when your spouse flirts with your members? You are the pastor of the church. Now, as you married, you are they talk about. Now, as a pastor, babe, when a woman begins to flirt with church members, that is absurd. I don't even understand it. But now you are a pastor's wife, the face of the church. So why do you think that would happen?
Okay, a lot of things could be involved in that. And when it comes to marriage issues, you cannot just, from the surface, either provide a solution or make comments that without knowing the details of what is going on. But that is a very dicey situation for a pastor's wife to be flirting with members of the church. But you see, the first thing you want to find out is that what kind of flirting. There are emotional flirting, as in maybe she's not getting affection or some attention from the husband or time, and maybe there's somebody in the church who seems to be giving her, time and attention. Women survive through relationship. They are made for relationship. So a woman needs a relationship to be fulfilled. So she needs friends. She needs people to communicate with. She needs people to validate her. She needs people to, compliment, encourage her and all of that. So we have to find out what is going on in the pastor's house first of all.
True.
Before they come to that level, very likely there are cracks in that marriage. Mm-hmm. There is stress. Maybe there are conflicts. That there may be a lot of maybe emotional stress is being carrying. And maybe she finds somebody in the church she can unload her burden to.
True.
So when you talk about flirting, we want to know what kind of flirting. Is it just attention flirting? Is it just emotional flirting? Is it maybe preoccupation flirting? Or is it texting, flirting? Or is anything sexual involved? If it just maybe cannot get the attention of the pastor, and now somebody's occupying her in the church, we have to find out what is going on between her and the pastor. True. For her probably to find a solace somewhere where she's probably maybe expending her emotions.
So, from the conversations, very long conversation, it looks like it has become sexual. And not only that, the husband is ready to forgive. They've called a meeting with the church elders, and the woman walks out on everyone. That is the story. Why would you think a woman who is on the wrong and the husband is trying to forgive will walk out from that situation not caring?
Okay, so it still boils down to one thing. You see, love is the bedrock of any relationship. And love is like gasoline in your car. If you don't give the car the gasoline, there's no other liquid you put on the car that will make the engine run.
That's right.
It's going to be grounded. Mm-hmm. So obviously, there is something fundamental going on between the pastor's wife and the pastor that is affecting the relationship. And obviously, it's likely maybe the woman has taken so much in, and probably she can't take it anymore. People have limits of what they can endure, as it were. So I could suspect maybe frustration is driving her to that kind of extreme. Because if she knows that I'm married to a pastor, we're leaders at the forefront of the church, people are looking up to us, Now she's coming to this desperation point. Then there's something fundamentally wrong.
That's very true.
Yeah, so either the man, most men who are married, some of them doesn't understand the affectionate side or the relationship side of marriage. They think I'm the man, I'm providing, so I'm there, for you when you need me, and that is it. No. But a woman's heart is yearning for attention, whatever her love language is. If it's not addressed, then that woman will be empty in the house, never fulfilled. And believe me, it's desperation, frustration, driving her to that extreme where she can walk out on people who want to intervene in that kind of marriage.
That's very possible. Again, the man is the deliverance pastor. Why can he not deliver his wife?
It doesn't really work that way. The man is deliverance pastor. Deliverance is not by force. It's by cooperation, by agreement. Can two work together? Even in the Bible says, except that they agreed. So someone someone needs to recognize they has a problem and be willing, to be free before another one can come alongside, apply some grace and freedom comes. So, but I'll tell you that things that has to do with emotional frustration are not things that you will use spiritual to deliver the person from.
That's true.
Yes, it's as serious. So a love language that is not met. In fact, someone told us when we were growing up that marriage is 90% carnal and 10% spiritual.
Take notes.
He now said that the 10% spiritual is as weighty as the 90% carnality as well.
Wow.
So what that means is that what you were supposed to carnally supply for the marriage, there are 3 kinds of love that have made a marriage survive. One of it is the filial, the friendship love.
That's true.
So, and that one is very good. That one you don't have to pray in tongues, to provide it. It has to be provided. The communication, the affection you communicate, the likeness, and the things you do to make the person know she's loved, she's liked, that is not a matter of praying in tongues. So if some of those things are not there and they are basic emotional need of the woman, I don't know what kind of deliverance you want to conduct for her to be free.
Yes.
So the man may be a deliverance minister, but that has to deal with spirits involved in situations. But after dealing with the spirit, you have to still come to physically supply what is needed. If not, there'll be frustration.
That frustration is a fact. Now, is it possible for the woman to be an agent of the devil? Because the person that asked this question believes so much in this deliverance pastor and believe that the woman is at fault because she has refused even to get help without really knowing the root cause, like you said. So is it possible that this woman was sent to destroy this man's ministry?
Okay, so that's another way to look at it. So when I actually look at this a little bit holistically and realize that number one, either the marriage is under attack, spiritual attack, or the man is undergoing some serious trial of faith. That's a possible side. Then the other side too could also be that, you see, most people are not discerning. Most people are not patient when it comes to seeking the will of God in marriage. Even most so-called spiritual people make that crucial mistake because a lot of emotions are involved when it comes to relationship. So most time, once people's emotions have been involved in someone they are liking, they don't really pray through to know if it's the will of God or not, so they go into it. Sure. I think I saw the story of a prophet who actually employed a witch to work for him, a prophet. The witch worked successfully for several months. When she could not fulfill assignment, he said she wants to to resign and leave. The man said, "No, I'll pay you. You are doing a great job." She insisted I need to leave. When the man pressed her, said, "I'm a witch, send you on assignment."
He never knew.
He never knew. You see, when she's coming to work, she removed her witchcraft, go spiritually. She hung it somewhere. She come as she is, as a natural human being. So if we are not discerning to pray through to know people through God by discernment, I know that this is the will of God for me. Once the choice is strong from the onset, it's going to be tough for those kind of marriages. And that kind of person is vulnerable to the manipulation of the wicked one. Okay, of course, they didn't want to find an inroad to the house of a man that is being used by God to stop him by all means. So if the woman is a vulnerable party, they're going to go through her, as it were. So it's also possible that maybe the enemy has infiltrated the marriage through her, so her heart has become stubborn, and maybe she wants to frustrate the ministry. It's also possible. So what in times like this, what I would suggest is this: there are two things here, or three. Number one, Bible says, as many as are led by the Spirit of God and the sons of God, God still answers prayers.
That's right.
That man, we have to actually put ministry aside and go and seek the face of God. What do I do in this matter? God has an answer.
Yes.
He said, cast your cares upon me because I care for you. So God cares. He knows what is going on. He has an answer to it. So leave ministry aside. The house is on fire. Go and pray it through.
That's true.
That God will give you an answer of wisdom on what to do. Then, beside that too, sometimes we discern the voice of God from the council of mature spiritual people.
That's right.
You should look for some people who are mature, way ahead of him, and go to them. They will give him counsel, guidance, and prayers that will probably be able to put this in order. So that if this woman is not meant for him, somehow God will, guide him on what to do. Or if this woman is maybe also undergoing through some trial, or he undergoes to trial, God will give him the grace, especially when there are children involved in the marriage, okay, to be able to be patient and allow this season of trial to pass, and God can overturn the things. Let me quickly say this. I have a pastor friend whose wife left like that, through some little crisis for over 2 years plus. This man gave up. In fact, that's one of the biggest miracles I've seen. I'm close to him, he gave up. Even those who were praying for him felt that it was over, as it were. But can I tell you, when this man was making up his mind to go and get married to somebody else, beginning a new relationship, was when this woman called and came back. You see? So sometimes some things you think are over, they are not over. God can still overturn them.
That's true.
So prayer should be involved. A lot of counseling is involved. And the man should put ministry aside and focus on how to get an answer to fix this marriage.
Is every pastor a marriage counselor?
I would say no, because not everybody is gifted the same. You see, and not everybody is detailed to understand in depth of certain truths in scripture. Some have revelation, some are teachers. Teachers are thorough people who investigate matters, and they're able to communicate truth in a way that people can receive it and apply it. So not everyone. So you may be in ministry of deliverance. Those people are they just pick a verse from here, a verse from there, and use it, and probably they see result. But that's not equal to the detailed work that builds a house, which a marriage is.
That's right. So when you're looking for counselors, prayerfully find someone that is equipped to actually counsel you. And sometimes people just say, oh, it's the elders in church. Maybe the one even knows the secrets of those elders. That's why she said, are you bringing me before the elders? And she angrily walks out of the meeting of reconciliation, and now people are judging her saying, oh, she's so bad, she walked out. God will really help us.